All right, guys, here we go. The 2022 Mag 7 Buckhorn GP, Saturday's race. 40 AM lap 1. Not a great jump out of gate. Norm Day with the hole shot. Man, he's getting really good at that. He's kind of making a habit of it. That gas is really suiting Norm this year. Sitting in third right now. I think we're all playing a little cautious in the grass. This is our first trip onto the course. Trying not to hit the dirt like we saw a lot of guys in other classes doing off the start. And we're going to get in the dust right away, so good to get that out of the way. Keep my eye on Norm here. He's pushing pretty good. This guy in second place is running a pretty good pace too, so I'm not too worried. I mean, it's early yet, so it's a long race. It's not one on the first lap. Not usually. Can definitely be lost on the first lap though. Gonna put a little pressure on him here. Just let him know that I'm not wanting to lose touch with Norm. Make a little mistake there. I didn't realize that was going to be a 180 turn. So if you watched last year's video, the course is pretty much exactly the same. One slight little difference. He goes a little wide there, and I'm able to squeak by. See, Norm's going for it here, so he's going to make me work for it. But yeah, course is the same as last year. Didn't get smoothed out much, so all the braking bumps and acceleration bumps, all that stuff's still here from last year. Course is rough. But like I said, I really enjoyed the course last year, so it feels very familiar to me at this point. Norm with a little mistake there, but he recovers well. I think we were all a little surprised at how rough the course was right off the bat. And how dusty. I mean, we got quite a bit of rain early in the week. You can see Norm goes a little wide there, and I decided I need to take advantage of it. Try to get by him. Hopefully I can use the dust to my advantage at this point, I guess. I'll be honest with you here, I've got a little bit of arm pump, and I don't know if it's because the course was so rough or what, but I don't usually get arm pump, so that was a surprise. It wasn't bad, but I could feel it, you know? This hill's usually pretty fun, but it's just so rough at the bottom. Dust is pretty crazy. Got a couple course workers, a couple sweepers. Get hung up behind a little bit here, but they do a good job letting me by. Getting into quite a bit of traffic early, and I think it's just the dusty conditions. Rough course slowing everybody down a little bit. But I know Norm's not gonna let me off easy. I gotta try to put in some hot laps here. This guy does a great job pulling over for me as soon as he knows I'm there. Appreciate that. So the GoPro doesn't do the amount of elevation change justice. There's a lot of off-camber. You're almost always either going uphill or downhill. There's a lot of chop, a lot of braking bumps, a lot of acceleration bumps. So I'll apologize to this guy right off the bat. I do get a little frustrated. I get a little hung up behind this group of guys. They obviously don't know that I'm battling for the lead at all. They're just riding their own race.
Go, different class!
I try to give him a holler, just let him know, hey man, I'm not racing you. We're not racing each other. The 71 here, he does a great job. I think he heard me holler and he tried to pull up for me and actually let the other guy by, but
Coming out tight!
does a good job giving me a little bit of room there. Appreciate that. Pretty sure I follow that guy on Instagram. But yeah, this guy, you know, he's riding his own race, doing his own thing, and I totally get it. It's early, so you're not thinking you need to pull up for people. But just remember, if somebody comes up behind you that's going faster than you, just try to make some room for them, because most likely they're not in your class.
Different class!
And this is a pretty tight section, so it's kind of hard to pull over. But you know, there's room there to just check up a little bit and let me by, in my opinion, anyhow, I guess. And I can just feel Norm breathing down my neck. I don't know how close he is behind me, but I know he's right there.
Come on!
So at this point, I kind of decide I'm going to have to make it happen. Try to do it as clean and effortless as possible. So I try to go inside here. He kind of takes the line away. So I do bump him a little bit there going by him, but I didn't feel like I could wait for him to pull over for me anymore at that point. So not super proud of that, but I don't know. I had to go. This is kind of fun little section of the course. It's a little makeshift motocross track. Probably the proper tuner. Sir, for making room for me. A lot of these guys are 30 amateurs and open amateurs that they're just racing around a race. Maybe they got hung up early.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can see guys, normally if you just give them a little rev, they'll just scoot right over for you. And that's the speech that we all get at the start of the race. You know, if somebody faster comes up behind you, just make room for them so they don't have to do anything stupid to try to get around you. And I try to do the same. I'm sure that I've held people up in my time, and none of us do it on purpose for the most part. It happens. But sometimes I have to remind myself that I'm just out here to have fun. So. But it's kind of fun to not let Norm pass me back. Oh man, I wish you could feel how choppy this is. I know the GoPro is just smoothing it all out, but this was brutal. I did not have my suspension set up for this. I ended up dropping a little bit of air pressure out of my forks, and a couple clips on the compression just to try to soften it up a little bit. I felt like my forks were on it. This section was just all chop. But we all had red same course, so I shouldn't be whining about it. It was fun. Normally I kind of like the rougher courses, but usually that doesn't happen until Sunday. So I wasn't mentally prepared for it on Saturday. This was my favorite section of the course last year. One of my favorite sections, I guess. I just liked it. I thought it was tight and flowed well, and the dirt was epic last year. Just looking at all that dust is making me cough. So we're maybe 3/4 of the way through the first lap, and I can already start to tell that I don't really have it. I'm kind of running out of steam already. And I'm surprised by this myself, because usually by the last rounds of the year, I'm kind of as conditioned as one can be for an 1.5-hour race, you know? I don't do much training. You know, I like to mountain bike every once in a while, or I don't know, I don't train per se, but other than ride dirt bikes. Usually by the last round, I'm pretty comfortable with an 1.5-hour race, even if it's rough, so. At a lap in, I was a little surprised at how I felt. I felt like this was my first race ever. Yeah, it was not what I'd hoped for, that's for sure. This section of the course is pretty fun too. You know, like I said, this probably last year was definitely my favorite course. This year, it was awesome. A little dusty, but you can't do much about that. And yeah, I probably would have liked it smoothed out a little bit, but I don't know. Riding in all this rough stuff just makes you a better rider overall.
Thank you. Thank you.
A couple creek crossings, nothing too crazy. Man, I almost crashed right there. I almost went right over the bars. Scared myself to death. Coming back by the pond here. And that's going to end the first lap of the 2022 Buckhorn. Probably run lap 2 and maybe a highlight video. I don't know. We'll see. Until then, I'm out.